One game already in the books in Chapel Hill, and the big man, Jake Knapp, went to work. Gave up a walk to start the game, then struck out 3 Crusaders. And in the 4th, got some help. Carolina got 3 runs in that inning, added another one in the 5th, and they beat Holy Cross by a score of 4-0. We welcome you back to our coverage of the NCAA Baseball Championship. This is the Chapel Hill Regional, and it's brought to you by Capital One. And the story of the last 5 hours has really been the rain. Carolina Holy Cross played in less than 3 hours with a 12 noon start, and now Nebraska and Oklahoma are finally going to get started. An old Big 8 rivalry is renewed here on Tobacco Road. And we get a look at our bracket in the Chapel Hill Regional. North Carolina has already beaten Holy Cross. They advance to tomorrow night 6 o'clock winners bracket game against the winner of this one. The Crusaders are going to send Jaden Waiwoda, the Patriot League Pitcher of the Year, tomorrow at noon against the loser of this one. And we welcome you upstairs here at Boshamer Stadium tonight. We finally get baseball. Great to be with Damon Hughes, West Durham. All right, so here's the story. Nebraska is here, and literally every out counted for the Cornhuskers last week.
It absolutely did. It ended in phenomenal fashion. I think we talked with Will Bolton. He said he turned his back because he literally thought his season was over. But a mishap in right field against Michigan State in the Big Ten tournament opened the door for 4 straight wins by the Huskers.
And in the 10th inning, look at this. Ball up the middle. And all of a sudden, the Cornhuskers go from going home to going to the NCAA tournament. How's that happen? 5, 4, and 10 on the opening round. And then, Dan, and here's the other part. They beat Oregon, the 1 seed, and UCLA, the 2 seed, to get the Big Ten crown.
Yeah, this is a very, very dangerous baseball program. One of the hotter teams that we'll see in college baseball during this weekend.
All right, so that's one side of the ledger here tonight. Now for Oklahoma. First year in the SEC. You think Kyson Witherspoon's going to get the ball tonight? Wrong. The older of the twins, Malachi, gets the call.
Well, we heard that they put the names in the hat. We don't know how true it is, but they put the names in the hat, and they pulled out Malachi. Hadn't pitched in a while. You see his record next to his twin brother. 3-8 on the season, 68 in the 3rd innings pitched, 82 strikeouts to 30 walks. They're going to go with him.
All right, so Malachi Witherspoon tonight for the Sooners against the Cornhuskers. Winner gets the Tar Heels tomorrow night in Chapel Hill.
Gets the action tonight to open things up.
Well, and this is interesting because this guy's come out here and just the 5 or 6 warm-up tosses we've seen, he's popping the mid. Yeah. So sometimes these high-risk, high-reward decisions by coaches that we like to analyze, sometimes they get very curious, and you start looking. He has not pitched in 2 weeks. And he goes tonight, and it's his 15th start of the season. You pointed out the numbers. The fastball's legit.
Yes, it is legit. 95 to 97. He has topped in recent weeks over 100 miles an hour, and everything works off of that fastball. The last key is the huge key for him. He can get emotional. He can get the adrenaline flowing. Go back to my yoga days. You go to yoga, right? Woosah. You got to woosah a little bit, Wes.
The Cornhuskers, you see the order tonight for Will Bolt. Caden Brumbaugh, 8-game hitting streak. In his last 5, he's hitting .455. And Malachi Witherspoon gets ready to go for the Sooners, and so do the Cornhuskers as we settle in here. This is the 2-3 game in the Chapel Hill Regional. And Riley Silva, who was 6 for 18 at the Big Ten tournament, leads off for Nebraska. First pitch at 8:37 Eastern time, in there for a strike.
You see a glimpse of the stuff that Malachi brings to the table, just effortless, very fluid motion. The ball just comes out on fire.
Silva sharply hit to short. Willits And scooped out at first nicely by Dayton Taki.
That's going to be the key for Malachi. Just pound the zone, lean on his defense. Very athletic infield. Solid, speedy outfield as well. A lot of times you see pitchers that have his kind of stuff try to wear the weight of the team on their shoulders. Doesn't have to strike everyone out. Just lean on those 7 guys behind him to help him.
Devin Nunez, the designated hitter. Big Ten all-freshman. 4 for 9 last week in Omaha at the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, really stepped up in fine fashion as a freshman. The only freshman in the lineup for the Huskers, and had multiple extra base hits in the Big Ten tournament.
1-0 to Nunez. Rifled on the ground, past Branch out at second. So Nunez keeps it going. 1-out single for the Huskers. Nebraska is playing. I mean, you hear the phrase every once in a while, house money. Nebraska is really here on house money. When you think about the drop fly ball we showed you at the top, the 3 wins that followed, Will Bolt was very matter-of-fact with us, saying, look, we had to win all these series at the end of the regular season just to get in the tournament. Well,
they went through adversity, as many teams have done. They lost their ace in McConaughey on the mound, and guys had to pick things up. They've sustained some injuries during the season. They have 2 of their starters out of this game today, so it's really been just a hodgepodge of guys put together, and to me, it's one of the more impressive runs that I've seen in college baseball, because they only have 1 all Big Ten player on the team. They have Nunez, who's all freshman, and it's a relief pitcher that is the only all-conference player on the team. So you're talking about a group of blue-collar guys that play well with each other. No one truly standing out, but everybody standing together.
Second baseman Caden Brumbaugh, 1 ball, 1 strike to him. Redshirt junior from Edmond, Oklahoma, transferred from Stillwater to Lincoln. Remember, you got Nunez at first. Witherspoon, wild pitch, hit off the backstop, and down to second on the wild pitch goes Nunez.
One of the keys for Malachi on the bump is he usually goes by way of those first 3 or 4 batters in the lineup. If he starts off well, the confidence is brewing, the adrenaline has settled down, he's able to get into the flow of the game. Maybe a couple of instances where he's trying to overthrow here. Now you got a runner in scoring position with the Huskers.
2-1 to Brumbaugh. Fastball there, 98. And it's 2-2.
We talked about Brumbaugh being in 3-hole all season long. It's a guy that gets on base, has plus speed out of the batter's box too, something to watch.
That's high. All of a sudden now it's full to Brumbaugh. Will Bolt would love nothing more than to see his team push a run across here in the first. Build on the momentum that was constructed last week in Omaha. On the ground to second, Willits will field. He'll throw to third. They get the tag down. That's a heck of a play. Willis put the tag down. Dawson, the third baseman, off a fine throw by Jackson Willits.
And an error in base running here. The freshman trying to be aggressive. Totally understand the mindset, but when the ball is hit in front of you, you have to stay and retreat back to second base. Although that was close after his secondary lead, it was clearly in front of him to the shortstop. And you see the nod from Malachi saying good play to Willits at shortstop.
Yep, Jackson Willits. And there's Dawson Willis. So Brumball's aboard, fielder's choice at first. Whoa, look out. And that's Swanson that got hit by the pitch of Witherspoon. Although that was only 82.
A little bit of a slider there from Malachi, and Gabe Swanson, one of the heroes of this Husker team, especially in the postseason. The last 2 years in the Big Ten tournament, he has been outstanding in the batter's box. A couple of home runs this past tournament just a week ago, and now he's on base with the free pass.
Sophomore Case Sanderson's going to stand in. He's got a hit in 11 of his last 12. 2 outs and 2 on. I'll tell you what. Mudler, the catcher, did a heck of a job flagging that down.
Well, it's interesting. We know when we look at the roster and the lineup of the Sooners, they are heavy JUCO. Skip Johnson believed in going to the JUCO route to assemble his roster. Well, Mudler behind the plate was the catcher from Malachi and Kyson in junior college. So he brought the whole battery together. That's why you see Mudler back there as opposed to Easton Carmichael, the All-American.
Yeah, Carmichael will be the designated hitter tonight. That's fired off the plate, and it's 3-0. Now, you're Will Bolt, you're taking here all the way, aren't you?
Absolutely. To me, you recognize the struggles, control, and command of that fastball from Malachi and make him come back with 3 straight strikes. I'd take 2 pitches here if he's able to throw the first one over.
Brumbaugh at second, Swanson at first. The 3-0. Ball 4. It got by Mudler, but nonetheless, the bases are loaded. And that'll bring Dylan Carey to the plate here in the first. First walk issued by Malachi Witherspoon.
Well, we got the hit batter, now the walk. A little conference on the mound, try to settle him down. As I mentioned, these guys go way back, and as teammates, and likely outside of Kyson, no one knows Malachi better than Mudler behind the plate.
Dylan Carey, the junior from Castle Rock, Colorado, who was 5 of 17 at the Big Ten tourney with an RBI and also scored 4 times. He's got a chance here to do some real damage in the first.
And as you mentioned, the mindset in the batter's box, I'd be taking a strike here just to put more pressure. There he does, take one. I think that was the plan, getting in the batter's box. Force Malachi to work himself out of this jam.
On the ground, Malachi will field and flip to first, and like that, Oklahoma survives. Nebraska gets 1 hit, no runs, they leave 3. Sooners to the plate when we come back. And we welcome you back to Chapel Hill. Boy, Nebraska threatened, could not produce a run in their half of the first, and here is Jackson Brockett, senior from Omaha, going to work. 15th start of the year for the left-hander.
Yeah, crafty lefty, not going to be overpowering. He can get up into the mid-90s with his fastball, but he's confident with all 3 of his pitches: fastball, curveball, and changeup, and he has been strong as of late. Only given up 6 earned runs in the last 28 innings across 6 starts.
Of course, the Sooner lineup, Willits will lead off, and there's the guy you spoke of earlier. Typically the catcher, not tonight. The designated hitter is the Prosper, Texas junior, Easton Carmichael.
Yeah, he has been outstanding this season, and the linchpin of this offense for the Sooners.
So Brockett will go to work, the left-hander, against Jackson Willits and the Willits baseball family of Oklahoma. My goodness. And first pitch is ripped foul up the first base side.
Yeah, this is Willits' first time as a leadoff batter this season for the Sooners, and obviously there's a lot of confidence, justifiably so, and what he brings to the table. You see his numbers, 9 home runs on the season.
He was all tournament in Hoover last week. They beat Kentucky, beat Georgia, and then lost in that semifinal game, if you will. Did Oklahoma. Try to hold up there, and it's 2-1. Did he offer? Did not. Derek Everett's behind the plate. That's Jeff Wright, who's at first. Joe Harris at second. The crew chief here tonight in our second game. Brian Marine is at third. 2-1. That's low. 3-1.
And Brockett will not be afraid to work both sides of the plate. Go inside on right-handers. Got a good changeup that works well against the right-handers also.
Strike at the letters. Top of the zone, and it's full. Willits looks good standing in there. 6 feet, 206 pounds. Fouls that away.
He's a complete player, good speed, 14 of 14 in stolen bases on the season. 8 doubles, 3 triples, just 1 shy of the team lead.
Full count again. Called strike 3.
Leaning heavy on the fastball. He works the inside part of the plate. Just buckles Willits there. Nice job by Brockett bouncing back.
And here's Easton Carmichael, second team All Southeastern Conference. Leads them in homers, RBIs, batting average, and on base percentage. That's a strike. 0-1. He's had a hit in 10 of his last 11.
Usually you'll see Easton behind the plate for the first game and second game of the series. The one day, usually on Sunday, is when he is relegated to the DH position as he takes a second strike there. But because they opted to start Malachi, to put Muddler behind the plate, so he's going to be DH.
0-2 now to Carmichael. Outside, 1-2. Brockett was almost finding some rhythm, and Carmichael's tried to slow him down a little bit, stepping out of the box as much as he can. Now, with the pitch clock into college baseball, things are a little different now. That ball couldn't be corralled by the receiver.
Well, there's always been a little bit of a cat and mouse, little chess match between pitchers and batters, even before the pitch clock was a factor. Pitchers holding on to the ball, staying in their set position a little longer, trying to throw off the timing.
Chopped on toward third. This will be a tough play. Barehanded, the throw across. Didn't get him. Popped out of the mitt of the first baseman, Sanderson. It's a heck of a play by Rhett Stokes coming down the line. It's a base hit, though, for Carmichael.
Initially, I thought maybe Stokes should have tried to see if this ball was going to bounce foul. It clearly was not, but you can see great job grabbing, getting a strong throw over to first base, and Sanderson, they would not have gotten Carmichael anyway. Nice athletic play by the third baseman. Stokes is in there because of the injury that was sustained by the Huskers normal third baseman, a regular third baseman in the Big Ten tournament.
So here is Brockett working now to Dayton Taki. And there are not too many guys Oklahoma's more excited to have back in the lineup than Taki. Brockett will throw over to keep Carmichael close. 1 out. We're here in the first. This game's already had the volume turned up a little bit. Yep. You can feel it. Winner gets Carolina tomorrow night here in Chapel Hill in the winners bracket game. The loser plays at noon against Holy Cross. Runner goes, pitches high. They'll fire it down on a slap tag by Carey. Not in time. Carmichael has stolen the base.
Carmichael is one of the more athletic catchers slash DHs that you'll see with the lefty on the mound. He goes on first movement. Strong throw down to second base, but not in time. Calixto behind the plate does a nice job.
And that misses. It's now 3-0 to Taki.
I mentioned Stokes at third base. Overbeek was the full-time third baseman. Injured his ankle in the Big Ten tournament, but Stokes is a truly viable replacement.
There's a 4-pitch walk to Dayton Taki. So now you got him first and second and 1 out. And Oklahoma's returning the favor of what Nebraska tried to do in the first. Sooners were able to stem the roll. Can the Cornhuskers do the same? Gamble now. .353 hitter with runners in scoring position this year. Inside ball 1.
Gamble has been an on-base machine this season. The elder statesman of them in the lineup for the Sooners.
Popped up third base side. And Stokes over. But out of play. So it'll be 1 ball, 1 strike to Gamble. Trey Gamble's a junior college transfer, Salt Lake Community College. He's drawn 45 walks this season, which is 3rd in the Southeastern Conference, but only 3 in the last 7 games. And Brockett steps off. Cat and mouse game.
Yeah. It's another option as a pitcher. Take the token pickoff move just to give yourself more time.
Fastball on the outer edge. One, 2. That's in the dirt. Calixto did a nice job covering it up. Out number 2 on the strikeout.
That's a great job. Well executed pitch here. Kind of spikes the breaking ball, but you can see from the side swing. Looked like he kind of held up from that angle. Did not give him the benefit of the doubt.
Nope.
2 outs.
And here is Jason Walk, who has been the leadoff hitter a good bit of this year, right?
Yeah. Shuffling the lineup at this juncture of the season. As we mentioned, the coaches have a gut feeling about they have a gut feeling about pitching Malachi and changing things up. You have a gut feeling about who you want to shuffle around the lineup. Jason Walk, you see his numbers, 8 home runs on the season.
Ran one in, almost unbuttoned his shirt. 2-0. He's got 22 extra base hits on the year. Does Walk. 12 doubles, 3 triples, and the 8 homers that Brandon just talked about. And a throwback. Oh, look at Brumball sliding around, huh?
Yeah. I like the mindset of Brockett, not just trying to nullify the batters, but also making sure that the base runners know that he's aware of them, trying to keep them closer to the bag.
Boy, he heated up. Dana, is it his ability to go outside to the edges, both sides, regardless of a left or right-handed batter, that he can then not have the overpowering fastball?
Absolutely. Location, location, location.
On the ground. Nice play. It's short, flip to second, and that takes care of the Sooners. Carry to Brumball. How about each club building threat in inning 1? Nebraska stranded 3. Oklahoma's going to strand 2. We still got no score. Well, both schools mounted threats in their halves of the first inning, but nothing to show for it in the score. So we're still deadlocked at 0 as we go to inning number 2 here on a Saturday night in Chapel Hill. And man, Nebraska 15-6 in their last 21. Will Bolt said our backs were to the wall. We had to do it all.
Yes, a lot of pressure on Will Bolt and the Huskers, and they stepped up to every single challenge that they had to get to this point.
Malachi Witherspoon will start with Max Buttonback, or Butenbach, I should say, here in the second. Inserted into the lineup tonight, utility guy from Lincoln.
Butenbach has been a utility guy, as you mentioned, has to fill in for the injured Robbie Bolin, who's normally the right fielder, speedy right fielder. Has batted in the top of the lineup, as 2-hole for most of the season, and Butenbach had to come off the bench because of the hamstring injury sustained by Bolin.
And he was 0 for 4 in the championship game, struck out twice against UCLA. 0-2 quickly to Butenbach. He pulled the trigger and done. Tried to hold up and couldn't. First strikeout from Malachi Witherspoon.
I think we saw one in the last half inning, and here, breaking ball clearly out of the zone. Pretty darn close. Actually, a mirror image of the third strike called against the Sooners in the bottom half of the last inning.
Brian Marine down at third that time. Trey Gamble, the one from Oklahoma who got punched out. So here is Stokes at third now. Started the last 2 games of the Big Ten tournament after the injury to Overby. Went 3 for 7, drove in a run. 4 for 9 in his last 5. Struck out 3 times, did Rhett Stokes. Oh, 0-1. Pumped in for a strike. 0-2.
There's that slider we talked about from Malachi, and you can see a little bit of that extra confidence that as he got through the trouble in that first inning, seems to be much more fluid and confident right now.
That's up and out. It was interesting yesterday in our visit with Skip Johnson, talking about Malachi. And then you just kind of visiting with the rest of the staff, right? And we spent a good bit of time with Todd Butler, who's with Coach Johnson in Norman. Struck him out on another fastball. Changed that time, 88. Took something off and it dropped on him. 2 away, 2 strikeouts for Malachi. Look at this one.
Yeah, there you see, it looks like a little bit of a cut fastball, maybe a slider action, just works itself away from Stokes there, just can't catch up to it.
The thing about Malachi, and I guess this has been a word that's been used about him that's different from Kyson, is adaptability. Just understanding, like the rocky road in the first, and now he's mowed 2 guys down here in the second.
Yeah, Coach Johnson actually used an example of one of his outings where he felt the umpire missed a strike call.
Right.
And he walked to the back of the mound facing center field, and you could almost see the tension build up on his shoulders and in his body language, and it affected his outing the rest of the way. And they finally were able to kind of settle him down and from a psychological perspective get the best out of him.
And now he's got a 1-2-3 second. Witherspoon was kind of all over the place an inning ago. Hey, looked like Bob Feller. Back after this. We go to the second, still scoreless. Then you think they got the game on the iPad? I do. I think they're watching. Actually, I think they're watching on the app.
Positive thoughts, yes.
Yeah, checking us out. Appreciate it. Now, Skip Johnson, first 40 games and last 15. Offense a little different. He's trying to find some balances here tonight to kind of get that side of the house cleaned up.
The key point is that he's still figuring out ways to win.
That was sharply hit and ran right up on the first baseman. What a throw back, though. Not in time to retire Mudler, the catcher. That ball raced up the glove of Sanderson, and a heck of a play by Brumball backing him up.
Yes. Excellent job here. Well hit ball, just a two-hopper, and you can see the tricky bounce it takes off of Sanderson's glove. And as Brumball is right there, they almost get the runner at first base. That's why you got to hustle out of the batter's box. You never know.
Here's Kyle Branch now. All freshman pick in the Southeastern Conference. This young guy from Lucas, Texas. Looks at a pitch up and out from Brockett.
That's a healthy lead. I love that camera angle through from third base. Is you get to see the lead at first base, and even though it's a one-way lead, I don't anticipate the runner at first base trying to swipe second, but just being there against a lefty. And there's a school of thought there, Wes, where you want to get out far enough that you affect the vision as well as the attention of a left-handed pitcher, knowing that you're going back on any kind of movement. So just trying to shake things up, get him focused in a different direction.
And a 1-1 thrown back to the bag. It's the Oklahoma second in the SEC with 114 steals.
Just a few behind Kentucky. Mudler 3 of 4 in stolen base attempts on the season.
Dawson Willis, the leader in the lineup tonight. He's got 18. Walk has 17. There are 6 guys with 10 or more steals on the card tonight for Skip Johnson.
Yeah. They like to put pressure, apply pressure. They have a mantra, chaos, spelled C-H-A-O-U-S.
Into left and right at Swanson. 1 away. It's interesting you bring up the chaos because Kyle Branch is one of those guys who grew up an Oklahoma fan. You know, and he's got the steals. We've talked about that. But his parents have said he loved to create chaos. He's a chaotic human. If he walks through the door within 10 seconds, there's either going to be a fight or a game.
Love it.
Yeah. 1 out, 1 on here in the Sooner second.
And there definitely is a method to the madness. As looks like Mudler went back into first base a little awkwardly.
Uh-oh.
Going to have the trainer come out and check him out. He's holding his right wrist.
Yeah. The Oklahoma baseball trainer is Melissa Hampton, who is in her second year, and she came to Norman as one of the very few female trainers in professional baseball in the Marlins organization. And Mudler is going to come out walking with Melissa. And oh boy. So this is going to require a little bit more juggling from Skip Johnson's lineup.
Yeah, because if you move Easton Carmichael behind the plate, you can see going back, and that's everything you're supposed to do as a base runner. Go back into the base with your right hand Just a quick move. Right hand to the back part of the base, and it just looked like maybe he jammed it up against the base there, and it's going to get some attention from the physicians.
So Mudler is out. So Easton Carmichael is the designated hitter. Now, they are carrying another catcher, Cole Hansen, on the roster here for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, so you're in a situation here where, because Mudler was the starting catcher, you can go in and obviously have a pinch runner, and then have to decide if you're going to move Easton Carmichael behind the plate or leave him as the DH, and as you mentioned, sub the third third catcher in. But again, now it goes back to the decision to have Malachi Witherspoon on the mound, because are you really comfortable with your third catcher having to go out there and catch 98+ miles an hour with a guy that's had some challenges with command?
And I guess the first move here is to see what will happen at first base.
Yes.
And it looks like the first base umpire, Jeff Wright, has a watch on this. And Jackson Kircher, who is a right-handed pitcher and outfielder, excuse me, is going to come into the ball game at first base.
Yeah, this is obviously a pinch running situation. Jackson will not be behind the plate as a full-time substitute, and because of the injury to Mudler, they're going to give him opportunity to get his legs loosened up. You don't want to have someone go out and have a lower extremity or a injury or a muscle pull or anything like that. So they'll give him a little bit of time to stretch and get loosened up. You wonder how this extended break will affect Brockett on the mound, and I'm sure that's the concern from the Huskers dugout as he continues to throw pitches to stay loose.
Quick reminder to you, the Men's College World Series returns to Omaha. And that happens on Friday, June 13th, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Live coverage on ESPN throughout the 2 weeks. And for more information on the 2025 Men's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships.
You and I were discussing the atmosphere in Omaha. Encourage any of the viewers, whether you're a fan of a team that's going or just a fan of baseball, make sure it's a bucket list item or decision that you make. I've been up there on multiple occasions, and Omaha does it in incredible fashion.
So some of the Nebraska folks getting a little irritable as a result of the length of this. So Kircher was out running as if he were coming into the game. And so here's Mudler coming back. Okay. So Mudler is coming back to the game.
Cool aspect of sportsmanship by Brockett as he jogged on across the diamond to first base. Even Brockett checked on him, acknowledged, hey, are you all right with the wrist? And Mudler shook his head.
So Mudler over at first with one out. And here is Drew Dickerson, by the way, standing in, playing for the first time tonight since May 16th. And another throw over to first.
Got a little gamesmanship going. You make me wait, I'll make you wait. Also want to possibly get Mudler into a dive back position, but he's taking a very, very safe lead at first base.
281 hitter is Dickerson. Fly ball to right off the bat of Dickerson. Into the corner and gone. Oklahoma has taken a 2-0 lead. Drew Dickerson's 3rd home run of the year. How about that?
The freshman comes through with a bomb to right field from Lee Summit, Missouri, Lee Summit West High School. Fastball down and away. Drive the ball where it's pitched. You can see the power from Dickerson as he gets the job done. A 2-run bomb to get him on the scoreboard.
My goodness. And Drew Dickerson celebrates his 3rd home run of the year.
You see some frustration from Brockett. I'm sure part of that frustration is how long he had to wait. We're checking to see if Dickerson actually touched first base. Let's see, we'll see it here. He was in front of the base and actually stepped on the top of the base. So instead of cutting the corner as you would normally run the bases, because of the excitement there, he stumbled over the base with his left foot, but stepped right on top of it with his right foot.
So Brian Marine now, who's the crew chief of this group, after several throws over to first base. And now there's a discussion with Derek Everett at the plate. Jeff Wright is at first. So I think they just said there's a review of some sort here, and I'm going to go back to the first base, to whether he touched the base, right?
Yeah, I think that's the only reason they would have a review here. But as you and I, we have the advantage of seeing the review prior to the umpires. But right here, watch the left foot, which is how you would normally cut the base, but then the right foot. Now, but here's the key. Did the right foot engage the safety bag and not the white bag? We'll see from this angle, because if that is the case, and it looks like there he got on top of the white bag, but if he touched the safety bag instead of the white bag, then he would technically be missing the base. I think that camera angle clearly shows that even though he stumbled with the left foot, he got on top of the bag. I can't imagine this getting overturned.
So you have Jeff Wright and Brian Marine on the headset. And meanwhile, Drew Dickerson still relishing the moment of a 2-run opposite field homer that put Oklahoma in front.
I'm going to go out on a limb just a bit, and we saw the facial expression of Will Bolt in the dugout. I think the frustration is going to lie on Scott Mudler coming back in the game after that extended break.
So there you go. Dickerson's 3rd home run of the year stands. And oh, we got the close-up on it.
Again, you can see right there on the top of the bag with the right foot. Looks like he engaged the safety bag first, but the toe of the front of the foot clearly on top of the white bag. Great calls by the umps.
Brockett in the dirt now to Dawson Willis, 9-hole hitter for the Sooners, 222 on the year. Lifted foul and out of play.
Willis has been sensational at third base, the hot corner for the Sooners all season long. Previous defensive player of the year in Division II. Actually had come up with some clutch hits also, so becoming more of a complete player.
Chopped on and fair ball. Over the bag at third, past Stokes. And look at that. Willis goes standing in the second. 2 runs already in, and now a double down the line.
This is the second hit we've seen today. High chopper over to the third baseman's head. Really no chance for Stokes to get to it, and the ball lands right on the left field line. Third base umpire Brian Marine is right on top of it.
And now get a little more conversation.
Pitching coach Rob Trilgers is going to go out there and try to settle things down. He can tell that Jackson Brockett is frustrated. I'm sure part of that initial part of the conversation is, hey, just relax. Like, you can't control the whole Scott Mudler injury situation. Can't allow it to bother you. We got a lot of baseball to be played. And Rob Childress, one of the best pitching coaches in the country.
Yep, done a phenomenal job wherever he's been. And a lot of association. He spent 16 seasons at Texas A&M. And he worked at Nebraska in the late 90s and early 2000s as an assistant. That stretch, by the way, in College Station. 13 straight NCAA appearances and 2 College World Series when Childress was on the staff.
Yes.
Will Bolt, really one of my favorite stories, only because he's played on the biggest stage for Nebraska. I mean, 251 career games in Lincoln as a player. By the way, a .305 average and 41 steals, too.
One of the better hitters in Husker history.
Yep. He finished his career with 6 school records. And now in his 6th year, he's done a heck of a job. He's from Conroe, Texas, just north of Houston. If you've ever been down I-45, you know where Conroe is. 0-1. Fastball pops the mitt. 0-2. This is probably a fairly important batter in the ball game. This is Jackson Willits back to the top of the card for Oklahoma here in the second. They've got 2 runs in and a threat at second in Dawson Willis, who doubled a moment ago. Took something off of it. Might have lost it in the delivery too. Immediately looked at his left hand as it came out.
Willits had the backwards K in the first inning to lead off the game for the Sooners, but has an opportunity to drive in a run with the speedy Willis at second base.
That's in the dirt. Jalisco handled it well. And Jackson Brockett got to find a little bit of that groove he had in the first. It's been bumpy. Going through an inning and 2/3, or an inning and a third, I should say. There's a throwback. Just missed. 2-2. Would Coach Hughes be on the dugout step?
Yes, sir. Was that quick enough?
Yeah, he would. 3-2. Foul back. There's been a lot going on in inning change, isn't it?
One of the more frustrating times I had as a coach was with interaction on questionable strikes right there like that.
Yeah.
And his comment to me was, you keep talking, I'm going to open up the strike zone even more. That's when I kind of I got more upset, because now you're infringing upon the integrity of the game. There's a strike zone.
And now they got Willis in the jar. And here we go. And it's Brockett that tags him out. 2 away. So Willis is going to be retired on a linear math equation here.
Yeah, you can see, I think this communication, Brockett was not focused on the runner at second base at all. I believe you got to credit Helixo, the catcher. He has the advantage of seeing everything that's happening on the field prior to the pitch and delivery.
Yep.
And Helixo obviously connected with a signal for the pickoff move, and they're able to be successful for the second out.
1-5-4-1 on the tag. And now the strikeout of Willits and Brockett after giving up the 2-run homer. The Muddler injury. We've had a lot going on. 2 full, and it's 2-0 OU. So it's 2-0 Oklahoma. Drew Dickerson, the 8-hole hitter, is the hero of the moment. But we have had a lot happen here in basically 6.5 outs of baseball, right? Well, 12 outs of baseball. 3 for each side twice. And now, all of a sudden, here's Nebraska now on the counterpunch with Riley Silva leading off the third. There's Dickerson, who hit the homer with Muddler aboard at first. And Malachi Witherspoon's been sitting over there a while and starts the at-bat for Silva with a strike. Kind of works both ways here, I guess,
yeah.
right, Dana?
Each pitcher has had extended breaks. Malachi's been on the bench to watch his offense go, and the injury to Scott Muddler, who's back behind the plate, injured that right wrist, which is where his glove is on. If it was his throwing arm or throwing hand, it might be a different story here.
Yeah. 0-2 very quickly to Silva. Riley bounced to short to start the ball game. Spins out one foul right at the plate.
If you're Riley Silva and the rest of the lineup for the Huskers, you just got to be sitting fastball. If I'm a batter against a guy with this kind of firepower, sit fastball, and if he's able to land his secondary pitch, you're probably cooked anyway.
Yeah.
But you don't want to miss a fastball that you can drop.
0-2. Sky, infield, left side. Willis in from third on the infield grass. Well, don't forget, don't miss a minute of the action from the NCAA Baseball Regionals. We take you to the best live action on the squeeze play. Scan the QR code right now. It'll carry you to Chris Budden, Mike Rooney, and Chris Burke tonight. Holding down house at HQ in Bristol, and they will send you all over the country in a half hour. If they're playing, you'll see it on Squeeze Play. During our rain delay here this afternoon, I mean, it was fired up everywhere in this ballpark. West Virginia, Kentucky ended up being a thing today. I mean, I don't know how Vanderbilt Wright State turned out. Florida, East Carolina. Yeah. I mean, as soon as the first game ended here with North Carolina and Holy Cross, the most popular item around the ballpark was Squeeze Play on the phone.
Yes.
By the way, Vanderbilt came from 3-0 down to beat Wright State 4-3. They were no hit into the 7th. That's why you love the event.
Yep.
0-2. Fouled off, got away from the catcher. Oh, foul, and he'll hold.
There seemed to be some question as to whether this was actually fouled off. Usually the batter will tell you, and the fact that he was going to first base kind of tells you that there wasn't a foul ball. So the sound that the umpire heard, there's discussion here between Skip Johnson and the umpire, saying that that was not a foul ball. The sound that he heard was the ball off the glove and then hitting the umpire in the chest protector. The bang bang or the pop pop is different.
So here's Derek Everett, the umpire, awarding a swing on the house, if you will.
Yeah.
to Nunez. Called strike 3. Third strikeout for Witherspoon.
And there's the adrenaline flowing. This great off speed there. The breaking ball working to perfection. Just absolutely befuddles Nunez there for the second out.
Yep.
There's the fire that we heard about from Malachi. A little bit different approach between he and his brother. He's going to be more demonstrative on the mound.
2 outs. That looked like a cutter, didn't it?
Yes.
0-1 it is to Brumball here. By the way, Malachi Witherspoon has struck out 3 in his last 5 at-bats of Nebraska players. He wants a new ball. That one does not work. Gotta have another.
It's kind of tough when you have the stuff that Malachi has. We mentioned the fastball that's topped out at 101 the latter part of the season, but his slider is 89 to 91.
Wow. 97. And it felt a lot hotter. Brumball almost got unbuckled here.
You're not expecting that fastball to have the arm side run in on the hands with that kind of velocity.
1-2. Tried to get him to bite on the edge. 2-2. One hit for Nebraska belongs to Nunez, who struck out a moment ago. Brumball trying to keep him alive. Here's the 97 on the inside.
Yeah, I wonder how they did not see him go around on that. I think he offered at that pitch, but Oklahoma didn't get the break.
Ball 4. And he went back inside again.
Yep.
Fastball at 97.
That replay we saw was a little bit of self-preservation. Now Malachi's trying to get an explanation there from the umpire. Was that in and up? Looks like it was definitely in and up. There. May have an argument on that check swing, but not there.
So here's Swanson now. 7 home runs. 247 on the year. Runner goes. Throw down and easily in is Brumball. They wanted to find out what Muller had in the holster, didn't they?
Yes. Give them credit. Get aggressive. All the momentum is on the side of Oklahoma with the Dickerson home run. So Brumball swiping his 11th base of the season.
Runner in scoring position. 2 out though for Nebraska. And a pitch at the top of the box. Called strike 1.
Gabe Swanson, as you mentioned, the home run numbers, 7 on the season, but 2 of those in the Big Ten tournament last week. Showing some exceptional power opposite field. He gets a pitch over the plate. He has the ability to put it out the park, just like we saw from Dickerson.
Yeah, Witherspoon went right back up top again. It's 2-1. Chopped it foul, 2-2. So you got Brumball at second. Two balls, 2 strikes. Witherspoon working to Swanson. 4 strikeouts now from Malachi Witherspoon. And they've come in the last 7 batters.
High octane stuff from Malachi. Gets another backwards K.
The bottom of the 3rd inning, Oklahoma 2, Nebraska nothing. 41 pitch night so far for Jackson Brockett from Elkhorn North in Omaha. And throws one through the wickets.
You got it. Come on now.
Felixo, the catcher. There's a strike. 1-1 it is to Easton Carmichael. Carmichael singled, stole second back in this 1st inning, and leads off the 3rd here for the Sooners, who already have a 2-0 lead. Two balls and a strike to Carmichael.
Sooners have shown the ability to be very selective in the batter's box. Especially somebody of the caliber of Carmichael.
Oklahoma series 35-20, and there's Carmichael to the left. That's a long run. Swanson going back, and it's gone. Easton Carmichael, his 15th home run of the year. Makes it 3-0 OU.
You see, get full extension right there. Ball a little bit out of the zone, but it just tells you the abilities and the plate coverage that Carmichael has. Goes down and gets it, drives it out to the left center field. A solo bomb for the 3rd run of the game.
And a guy who loves Oklahoma makes it 3-0 in favor of the Sooners.
Puts a charge into that one.
Right back to the dish off the bat of Dayton Topham. And that's out number 1 in the 3rd. Oklahoma's got their 18th multi-home run game of the year here in their first NCAA appearance in 2025.
When you combine the athleticism, the speed, and the ability to put the ball out the park, the power numbers just jump off the page for the Sooners.
Go get him, Trey.
Gamble stands in now. Lefty on lefty set up here.
Go get him. A lot of confidence here, Trey. Come on.
1-0 Brockett. It's 2-0. I told you Trey Gamble is from Alpine, Utah. He went to Lone Peak High School,
Come on, Trey. Keep attacking here.
which is
Confidence.
as much known for basketball as it is anything else. That's slapped on the ground. Boy, nice backhand by Brumball. Did he get there? Did. Nice throw. Sanderson stretched all the way out, and they retire Gamble.
Excellent athleticism here, body control, good strong throw. It looked like possibly Sanderson might have pulled the foot off the bag, but the umpire, Jeff Wright, right on top of it. You can still see the engagement there for the 2nd out.
So 2 down, and here is Jason Walk, rather. And that pitch off speed and low, ball 1. Jason Walk is one of 2 or 3 guys on the Oklahoma roster from the new territory of the Southeastern Conference in Atlanta. He's from Acworth, Georgia. Played at Harrison High School, where guys like Jason Walk seem to be factory pressed and put into the system. I mean, Adam Everett had a career in Houston, right? Remember the L Astros, Adam Everett?
Yep.
Played at NC State. Also in the SEC in a transfer. There were brothers, not twins like the Witherspoons. There was Corey Patterson, who was a #1 high draft pick of the Chicago Cubs. His younger brother, Eric Patterson. They were Harrison High School guys. And just to make you feel better, so was Justin Fields, the quarterback. Finished at Ohio State and was a high pick in the NFL. And Jason Wall.
Yeah.
But in Everett and the two Patterson brothers, all like that.
Good speed.
Oh,
typical leadoff batter. Got power.
Hard hit to short. Scooped by Carey. And Walker's retired. But the home run by Easton Carmichael puts another marker on the board for Oklahoma. It's 3-0. Well, we go back to the second inning, and this is where things kind of got a little interesting. So Scott Mudler on a throwback dove into the bag, injured his wrist. He went to the Oklahoma dugout, returned when it looked like he was going to be pinch run for, and on the first pitch, Drew Dickerson hit a ball opposite field. We had a review. We weren't sure he stepped on the bag.
Yes.
It was confirmed that he did step on the bag, as we showed you there. By the way, we checked on a couple of other little nuances of that whole thing. The NCAA has told us that there is a 10-minute time limit.
That seems like a long period of time. I do get it, though, to some extent. When you think about the nature of other sports, you can come back in the game in baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer if you're injured. In football, basketball, and other sports. In baseball, once you are out of the lineup, you cannot return. So the extended amount of time, somewhat warranted.
Feels like Will Bolt needs something good here for his club to start happening.
And he gets it with the leadoff batter, a drive past the shortstop.
Side note to all of what we saw in the second. You know, Brock at the picture clearly became frustrated, things of that nature, right? At the end of the day, Mudler's fine. He's in the game. The most important guy in the whole sequence was the first base umpire.
Yes.
That guy right there, Jeff Wright, because he had the clock. Remember the stopwatch?
Yeah. Like, I feel like there's a certain level of time that you don't need a stopwatch. You just use your regular watch, right? Like 10 minutes.
You know, man, come on. Dana, you know how it's going to work, right? What, are we going to use the clock on the scoreboard?
Yeah, might as well. 10 minutes.
What you boys got? I got 11 to 10. What do y'all think? All right, let's start now. Foul back. Good hard fastball. 95. High in the zone. And here's the thing, too. Derek Everett has given him the high strike tonight. So now Dylan Carey has no choice but to contest it.
And it's tough to catch up to 98 at the top of the zone or a little bit higher. The Huskers, as we mentioned, the first time they have the leadoff batter on base.
In the dirt, 2-1. I'd like to know maybe what the time limits are on other, like, is Major League Baseball different than the college game? College game's got 10, Major League got 5. I mean, 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Now you and I see some different sports at different times.
Yes.
There's no possible way the National Football League would ever let a 10-minute deal go.
No, not at all. Unless it's one of the precious quarterbacks, maybe. You know, they get a little extra.
Now,
was I supposed to say that?
Struck him out. Little Witherspoon starting to really roll here a little bit. He just pumps it right in past Carey.
When in doubt,
5 of them now.
Throw near 100 miles an hour at the top of the zone, tough to catch up to. Good cut though by Carey.
5 strikeouts now from Malachi, who is older than Kyson, who will get the ball tomorrow. Win or lose for Oklahoma.
I think there was some competition in that household growing up.
fastball up and away, 1-0.
We've heard the stories of the mom, Meg, who is the matriarch of the family, kind of bringing all the siblings together and, you know, being the force, probably a force of reason in many occasions.
There's Kyson, by the way, 26. Malachi wears 25. Oftentimes, in this particular case, the rule does not hold. Oftentimes, the first letter of the twins will wear the lower number. That's not the case here. Malachi, obviously, M follows K. He wears 25. Kyson wears 26. That is served over the first base side, just fine. Doesn't always apply, it's just of note.
Now you got me thinking about all my family members that are twins and how that's set up. You saying
sometimes they don't, if they wear consecutive numbers, sometimes it goes alphabetically to the number. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to
thanks a lot, Wes, for putting more on my plate to think about tonight after this game.
I gave you a 5-hour break between games. I gave you an extension on the break.
I go through all my former teammates and family members, athletes.
2-1. And that's called strike. Butenbach. Remember now, he is into the ball game because Nebraska does not have the services of Robbie Boland tonight. And here's a 2-2. And he pulled the trigger on that, and that's out number 2 on another strikeout. That's 6 now for Malachi Witherspoon.
Second strikeout of the evening for Butenbach. Again, the breaking ball and a nice job behind the plate by Mudler. Getting in front of it, curling those shoulders, keeping the ball in front of him, and keeping the runner at first base.
So now Stokes with 2 outs, 1 on in 4 of his last 10 after a strikeout in the second. Single by Sanderson. He's at first. Stokes misses there. The ball got thrown back from Mudler and past Malachi.
Case Sanderson at first base. Not a stolen base threat, just 1 stolen base on the season in 3 attempts.
Temperatures are kind of dropping here a little bit, getting cool on this last Friday in May. Runner goes. That ball is smoked out in the left field, and drifting back and making the play is Gamble. So a single by Sanderson goes by the boards. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball. Skip Johnson and the Sooners lead 3-0. The head coach joins us next. Welcome back to Chapel Hill, Oklahoma, in front now of Nebraska, and the head coach of the Sooners, Skip Johnson, kind enough to join us here. A little bumpy early, really, for both schools. You guys have gotten a couple home runs. Boy, what a shot Dickerson gave you. Boost there, huh?
Yeah, it was really big, especially after what, Mudler gets his shoulder out of place and gets put back in. I thought it was a big pickup for us, and he picked him up.
Shoulder, coach? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
We couldn't really tell. We thought it was a wrist.
Yeah.
Coach, you got Malachi out there. Obviously, for everyone outside of the program, we had questions as to why you went that way. You know your program better than anyone. What's your thoughts on how he's been dealing this evening?
Yeah, I think he's been really good. His fastball's sinking good, and his breaking ball's going up for strikes. And that's what he needs to keep doing to keep these guys off balance.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time.
Good
luck
guys.
the rest of the way.
Thank you.
You bet.
Shoulder.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to date myself here, but do we think that he went back into the clubhouse and did a Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon and knocked it back in, Wes. They don't do that anymore.
Any given Sunday. Every inch. Slap right back through the box by Mudler. Well, his story continues now.
Yes. Oh,
because I want to tell you, Skip Johnson just told us it was a shoulder.
Yes.
And I want to tell you this. He's swinging a bat, throwing the ball, doing all of it with the right arm.
With the right arm, that's right. Tough, hard-nosed kid. That's exactly what you want in the DNA of your catcher. So extreme toughness here. Maybe he's had that situation where we can do some research between games, or by tomorrow. I had subluxating shoulders when I was in high school, where they would come out and pop them back in.
Yeah.
Not to that extreme extent, but it is a thing, and I was still able to go out and throw a baseball afterwards. So it's possible.
Well, we need to spend some time tomorrow with Melissa Hampton, the athletic trainer, who went out there to tend to Scott Mudler. 0-1. Branch now staring in. There are a couple guys on this roster who were just, no matter where they lived in the country, were going to be Oklahoma players. Kyle Branch is one of them. That's inside. 2-1. Kyle Branch. His dad, Rusty, talked to him as a kid about how great Barry Switzer and Bob Stoops were growing up. I mean, what choice does he have?
Yes.
He's got to go to Oklahoma.
How about making a splash in that jersey that you've been crazy about your entire life? His first game as a freshman inside the park home run.
I mean, that's... And of course, he's got an older brother who plays at Georgia, Colby. That's called strike 3. So all that, Kyle Branch watches the strikeout. And that is now 4 in the ball game for Brockett.
Yeah, well executed pitch there. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Looked like Kyle might have been looking for off speed on the inside. The 4th strikeout on the evening for Jackson Brockett.
The great Tom Kasimpa said maybe the Mr. Miyagi treatment.
Ah, yes, wax on, wax off.
Yeah. First pitch fisted away by Dickerson.
I think we are officially dating ourselves here.
Those that know, know.
Yeah.
Those that don't,
too bad for them.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah. There's this thing called the internet.
Yeah.
Go check them out.
0-1 it is to Dickerson. His home run opened the scoring tonight for Oklahoma. I remember we ran the graphic earlier about the last 15 games for the Sooners, and kind of they're fighting themselves offensively. They've got 3 runs.
Yeah.
Now Nebraska, who you saw last week in Omaha, just kind of stay within reach the entire night and then find a way, right?
Yes. They're going to play their full 27 outs.
Yeah, but Horn on Sunday was dominant from the start.
Yes.
Okay. But the rest of those games all kind of had this feel, right?
Yeah, exactly right. They're not a team that's going to give up. They take on the DNA of their head coach and pitching coach, Will Bolt and Rob Childress. They're going to fight.
And you know what Will Bolt's thinking? We get over here, we find a way to get a run, a couple hits. Two. And that got thrown by, and will send Mudler down to second on the wild pitch.
It's a tough break for the Huskers. We've talked about the prowess behind the plate of Helixo, and that ball gets past him. Takes them out of the double play.
Yep, pass ball it is. That is foul. So So 3-2 it is to Drew Dickerson. And that's ball 4. Ran it high and tight, and that's the second walk of the night issued by Brockett. So now first and second, still one out. And here's Dawson Willis.
There are some base on balls that are acceptable, and Jackson Brockett, given that free pass to Dickerson, now puts them back in a circumstance where a ground ball gets them out of this inning.
And now all of a sudden Rob Childress is out. Now Casey Dice, who was in the ball game to close the other day, right?
Yes.
In the championship game in Omaha, is going to get the ball. So Casey Dice. He's coming in for the Huskers. And we're going to step aside here in Chapel Hill. Oklahoma's got first and second, one out. And Dice is next. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals tonight from Chapel Hill. Presented for you by Capital One. Wes Durham, Dana Hughes. Great to be with you. Carolina's already advanced into the winner's bracket game tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Eastern. 4-0 win over Holy Cross. Jake Knapp was the man. Advertised as good and was that and then some. And they'll await the winner of this one. And Oklahoma's in front 3-0, bottom of the fourth, one out. And Nebraska has made a pitching change. Casey Dice has come on. And the first guy he sees is Dawson Willis. And here's a look at the senior from Webster, Florida. Pitched on Sunday through 15 pitches, struck out 2 guys on the way to closing down the Big Ten title for Nebraska.
So numbers there, 16 strikeouts to 8 walks, and with that sidearm delivery, he doesn't have the firepower that we see from Malachi. He's going to be between 88 and 90, but as far as a workhorse and competent pitcher, Will Bolt and Rob Childress believe in this young man. He's really worked hard over this last season, lost 10 to 15 pounds. Made him more athletic, and it's shown.
So here's Dice, and that is served, and he'll throw on to first. Look at that, double play ball. How about that play? Red Stokes caught it, stepped back onto the bag, and then threw to first. How about a little double play? 5-3. Look at this.
Yeah, make it look easy at third base, the hot corner, athleticism, a strike to first base to end the inning.
3-0 Oklahoma. We go to the top of the fifth. 9-1-2 on the card for Will Bolt. But I want to go back to Red Stokes here. Look at this.
Talk about making it look easy. He fields the ball near foul territory, but the ball's fair. Taps it with his left foot and still has the ability to throw a strike to first base.
How about that?
Knows exactly where he is on the field to make the plays.
5-3 double dip. And it's a 3-0 ball game. By the way, these teams, as we go to the fifth, are combined 1 for 12 with runners on. The only hit with runners on is the Dickerson home run.
Yep.
Alixo looks out. Hogan is a transfer from Creighton. Another guy from Elkhorn. He went to Elkhorn South. Told you earlier, Brockett was Elkhorn North. I'll step out on a limb and say whenever Elkhorn North and Elkhorn South get together, it's for more than just the win. Foul back, 1-2. Will Bolt needs some offense here.
Yeah.
Daniel.
The last inning, they got the leadoff batter on base. The only time they had that. I'll look to accomplish that here with Helixo.
He's a 250 leadoff hitter. He's hitting under 200 on the year. Foul back. Good cuts on fastballs from Witherspoon.
Yeah, just missing it, and give credit to Malachi. One of the attributes of a good pitcher is to miss the barrels. A good ride on that fastball. Coach Skip Johnson mentioned about the sink on it as well, so he's got some movement, not allowing the Huskers to square it up.
Skied on the first base side. Taki doesn't have a play. That's in the grandstand along the right field side. Look at the bridges being built over there. Oklahoma and Nebraska fans getting along.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. We're making pictures, Sean. Look, we can be friends.
He gave the ball to a youngster.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Anything's possible.
2-2 it is. Ran it inside. Full now. Witherspoon works quick. Called strike 3. Helixo thought he was going to get first.
Yeah. Well, Helixo, the catcher for the Huskers, he knows the strike zone, and this is just a fastball with some late movement back into the zone. An exceptional job by Mudler framing that for the home plate umpire, Derek Everett. We get the backwards K. Another backwards K for Malachi. 7
strikeouts now for Witherspoon. And Silva, who's 0 for 2, steps in. Witherspoon had not pitched in 13 days. Swing and a miss by Silva, 0-1. The fact of the matter remains, Skip Johnson deserves a lot of credit the way this has worked itself out. Threw that by 96. He's almost 70 pitches in. His last outing on the 17th, he went 6 1/3 against Texas. 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He struck out 10, walked 3, and got the loss. Backhanded play at short, and Willits did not collect, and Silva reaches. It'll be an error on the Sooner shortstop, Jackson Willits.
Tough break for Willits at shortstop. Tries to backhand, and it looks like on the lip of the grass, between the dirt and the grass, that ball just had a little bit more bounce there. Goes off the heel of the glove. I'm not sure even if he feels that cleanly with the speed of Silva, he would have got him at first base.
So here's Nunez. He singled in the first, called out on strikes in the third. Fastball up and out. Nebraska is 0 for 6 with runners on, and now we got a full-blown meeting going. Town hall stuff. Here's Skip Johnson coming out. I don't know that there's anybody in the Oklahoma bullpen. So This looks like a coach-pitcher conversation.
Yeah, definitely a one-on-one conversation there just to try to settle him down. And this may be an example, Wes, of when we were talking with Skip Johnson. He said, you know, there are times where I need to go out and calm him down. And, you know, from a psychological standpoint, it gets a little bit too fiery, too emotional. So it's not necessarily about the arm slot and, you know, the X's and O's of baseball. Sometimes it's just about settling down the pitcher in a certain situation. And as I mentioned earlier when we interviewed him, like, he knows his team the best. He knows his guys the best. So credit to Coach Johnson.
And he calls the pitches now for Witherspoon. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down, and safe is Silva. It's 1-1 to Nunez. Nice counter punch by Nebraska.
Yeah, Huskers trying to put their foot on the gas pedal. Silva, his 11th stolen base of the season. And with that slide, kind of turns his back towards the outfield. Doesn't allow Willits to get the tag on the first leg.
1-1.
If he's landing that slider, he's going to be tough to work against in the batter's box. 90-mile-an-hour. Pitch clock violation.
Yep. And Nunez is called out. Eyes were not up.
Yeah, the rule is, for all the viewers, with the pitch clock implementation, the rule is that the batter has to have both hands up with the bat and the eyes focused on the pitcher by the time the clock gets to 8 seconds.
So here we go.
Pitcher's on the rubber, ready to go. Head is still down, 7 seconds. There you go.
Boy, Derek Everett, there went a lot of grace under the 8. So that's 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. And Brumbaugh now has to provide something with 2 outs for Nebraska to keep it going.
Tough break for the Huskers.
You see Brumbaugh 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. That ball to right. Long run. Dickerson going back. And he makes the catch. Drew Dickerson is having a night. A 2-run homer. Put Oklahoma in front. Now he makes a play on the wall. Husker coach Will Bolt next with us from Chapel Hill. Nebraska trailing Oklahoma 3-0. The Husker head coach is Will Bolt. He's good enough to spend some time with us here as we get ready to go to the bottom half of this frame. This is a long game, I know. We're halfway around this, but it's been just what I think you thought you were going to get tonight. This is hard fought from the first pitch, it feels like.
Yeah, no doubt. And we've kind of run some pitches up there. Obviously, we had loaded the bases there in the first inning and had a chance, but you know, we're right there in the thick of it right here. 3-run game, middle of the game, and you know, see what we can do with the back half here.
Coach, I've known you guys to be a gritty team that plays the full 27 outs. What adjustments do you guys have to make in the batter's box against Malachi, trying to play some runs?
Yeah, I think there's going to be, you know, there's some pitches in the middle of the plate that we're just going to have to be ready for and take the balls and swing at the strikes. I know it sounds simple, guys throwing 97 to 100 miles an hour, but, you know, just get them in the stretch and see if we can get a crooked number.
Yeah, and see if Dice can help you out here, huh?
That's right. He got a big double play for us to get off the field.
Sure. Thanks, Will. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks,
you
guys.
bet.
Go Big Red.
1-0 to Willits. And Casey Dice. By the way, there is some activity in the Nebraska bullpen. They've got Caleb Clark working down there. Left-hander. That ball is fouled out of play.
Yeah, definitely decisions that have to be made. Pitching coach Rob Childress and Will Bolt, because this is the first game of the weekend.
Yep.
You expect, even if you lose this game, you still have the expectation of climbing back through the loser side of the bracket. You're going to need the arms, so may not want to tap Dice out in the first game.
Well,
need him later.
And here's the other thing too. Casey Dice doesn't have a lot of fuel in the tank anyway. He's only gone 2 1/3 is his ceiling this year, and he's done it twice, including May 6th the last time. He did do 2 innings of work against Purdue toward the tail end of the regular season. And there's a walk to Willits to start the 5th. And here comes Easton Carmichael, who in his last at bat rode one out in the 3rd.
Yeah, pitch down and away shows the strength of Easton Carmichael. High up on the net in left center field, solo bomb.
So nobody out, runner on, and Carmichael back to work.
Willits at first base. Good speed. Very good speed.
Carmichael at his 15th home run. Now got hit with a pitch. So now it's going to be first and second. And Dayton Taki.
They're happy to have this young man back at first base. He missed his offense. He had a fractured ankle.
And here comes Rob Childress. And yep, they're going to go get Caleb Clark, the left-hander. Wasn't sure how long Dice would go, but Clark is ready here in the 5th. So Casey Dice, a short stint tonight. 3rd Nebraska pitcher of the night is next. Well, I'll tell you what, back on April the 29th, Nebraska paid honor to one of the really, really good people in the industry of broadcasting in this country, and certainly a fabulous representative of Nebraska, and that's the late Greg Sharp, who we lost to pancreatic cancer back in the month of February. And you see the GS on the Husker hat, and that's to honor Greg, who was a play-by-play voice for football and baseball in Lincoln from 2008 until his passing early here in 2025. He was twice voted Nebraska Sportscaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association. And that night, his daughters, 2 of his 3 daughters, threw out the first pitch.
Yes.
Danon.
Yeah.
And that was a come from behind win that kind of sparked where Nebraska's been to get to the, not just the end of the regular season, but then last week in the Big Ten tournament. And interesting to visit with Nick Andy and Ben McLaughlin, who were doing the radio broadcast for those guys, because last Sunday they sometimes feel like they're playing with a guardian angel.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. One of the great gentlemen, not just in sports, in life. I got a chance to interact with him on many occasions, calling Big Ten baseball, and just a special, special human being. And actually interviewing Will Bolt after they won the Big Ten tournament title last week. Behind his sunglasses, he talked about how emotional this team was. I'm sure Greg Sharp and his passing was part of that as well.
Absolutely. Yep. So here's Dayton Taki now from Weatherford, Texas, with a 1-0 count. And we get our first look at Caleb Clark. North of the border, 6'2", 210-pound junior.
Crafty lefty strikeout, 16 to 7 walks, 21 hits, and 17 innings of work.
Taki squaring to bunt and does so foul, 1-2.
Clark is going to have a fastball and a curve that's more of a sweeping break. 88 to 91 with that fastball, but this is a role that he's accustomed to, very comfortable, situational. He gets ahead against Taki.
Taki trying to handle the bat on bunts, but now with 2 strikes. He'll step in here and look to hack away. Off the plate, 2-2.
There's that sweeping breaking ball.
Two. Fastball full. Three nothing Oklahoma. 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Nobody out, first and second. Called strike 3. Taki threw the bat as if he was walking up the first base sign, and Derek Everett called strike 3.
Borderline pitch here, a little bit of late life at lefty, right on the outside part of the plate, too close to take there. An excellent job by Helixo behind the plate in the frame, and may have stolen a strike there as Taki definitely opposed.
Gamble now, 0 for 2. On the ground, shoots it past the shortstop. Around the corner and coming home is Willits, and it's 4-0 Oklahoma. RBI off the bat of Trey Gamble.
And with the runner at second base, this is a nice job of hitting. You can see the hands inside the ball there by Gamble. It's the big part of the bat on the ball, pokes it past the shortstop for an RBI.
Carmichael moves up to second on the single to left. So first and second, still just 1 out. And here is Walk. That ball into center field. Silva will track. Carmichael going to tag and advance to third with 2 away.
Some quality swings in this game so far by Jason Walk. He's 0 for 3. Some good cuts. He gets the advance the runner there. Good smart play by Silva in center field to throw it into second base to hold the runners on the corners. And not 2 runners in scoring position.
And here's Butler, who wins some sort of sacrifice or service award tonight, if nothing else. I mean,
we know where the first ice bag is going. Maybe the first one will go to Malachi Witherspoon. The second one will definitely be on the shoulder of Scott Mudler.
Yeah. The count. Mudler is 2 for 2. There's a strike, 2 and 1. And when I say he's 2 for 2, here's the thing. That doesn't even qualify for like in the first 2 things he's done tonight. There's a throwback over to first. Gamble into the bag. Mudler, by the way, singled in the second, but he injured his shoulder diving back to the bag, left the field. Apparently the shoulder got put back in. Drew Dickerson hit a 2-run homer after he returned to the game. But here's the thing. Mudler got a hit in the 4th. And by the way, tried to throw a guy out too.
Yeah.
There's got to be more to this, right?
I think so.
Nebraska's got more activity in the bullpen down the right field line, by the way. Drew Christo is up now for the Huskers. 3-1 to Mudler. They'll throw back over again to first. And there's a look at Christo.
Christo's been one of the high leverage arms out of the bullpen for the Huskers. He was sensational last week in the Big Ten tournament. Long relief guy.
3-1. Chopped on toward third. Gathered, throw in time. But the RBI single from Gamble plates another run. Oklahoma 4, Nebraska nothing. Back to the NCAA baseball regionals tonight in Chapel Hill, and it's brought to you by Capital One. The moon providing a bit of light to us tonight at Bosherman Stadium on the campus in Chapel Hill. The host Tar Heels were 4-0 winners over Holy Cross, and now Malachi Witherspoon's trying to push Oklahoma into that matchup tomorrow night in the winners bracket. 77 pitches, 8 Ks, only 2 hits allowed. Dana?
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected this but Skip Johnson, Todd Butler, and their staff, because they have the utmost confidence in Malachi Witherspoon, and he's coming through in this game.
Allowed 2 hits. Through 5, we go to the 6th, and here is Swanson. Fouled off the first pitch.
Did notice between innings, it's Scott Mudler behind the plate. We've talked about his toughness. He did not throw the ball down to second base, so trying to conserve the strain on that right arm, the right shoulder. See if the Huskers can get some guys on the base pass, they may try to exploit that.
Foul back. Quickly 0-2 it is to Swanson. Witherspoon, the 8 Ks, by the way. He's had 2 in each of the last 4 innings. Nebraska's gone 22 games without striking out 10 times. They have 8, obviously, tonight. Been since April 15th, they've had 10 or more strikeouts in a game. That was against Creighton. Called strike 3. There's 9. Second time Swanson's been called out on strikes.
And the second backwards K as well. And this is the late life from Malachi Witherspoon there. That ball just moves itself back over the plate. Starts off outside. Just another aspect of his pitching that makes it tough for right-handed batters.
Witherspoon's season high is 11 against Vanderbilt on April 13th. He went 5 innings, struck out 11. That's his career high as well. That's low. As he works to Sanderson. Case Sanderson tonight, a single and a walk. Inside, 2-1, or 3-0 rather. 7 hits tonight for Oklahoma, 2 hits for Nebraska. That's a strike. 3-1.
Pitch count for Malachi at 85 coming up here. Still throwing in the mid-90s.
Fouled off. Well out of play. up along the grandstands on the left field side. However this game ends tonight, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, they'll be stacked in here like firewood. That ball is sent right over the top of Willits into left field. 1 out for Sanderson. He'll dig for 2, slides in safely. Good hustle play by Case Sanderson. Second hit of the night for the Husker first baseman.
You can tell Will Bolt and his staff know how to teach base running. Case Sanderson drives right over the shortstop's head. Based on the positioning of the left fielder, he knows that he has an opportunity to get to second base, does not break stride, picks up the ball and turns on the jets to get to second safely.
So a 1-out double for Sanderson. And now here's Dylan Carey. 0 for 2. 7, 8, and 9 do not have a hit tonight for Nebraska.
Dylan Carey leads the lineup with 8 home runs on the season, so the junior shortstop definitely has the ability to change the dynamic of this game with 1 swing.
Off the plate, 2-0. That's a strike. 96. Fouled over to the third base side. See 0 for 8 with runners on, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Nebraska's only got 3 hits.
Yep, and all spread out too.
Oklahoma finally with some bullpen action. Jason Bowden to work. And he'll get first after being hit by the pitch. So Dylan Carey to first. Now all of a sudden first and second, 1 out. And Butenbach.
This is some high heat here. Gets away from Malachi. You can hear. Wes, that happened to me. Almost ended my junior year at the University of Iowa. Broke a finger. Lost 30 games that season from the same high heat there. So that's smart. He was lucky to be able to shake it off and get the first base.
Yep. So Witherspoon, little mound visit, collaborative effort. And we just told you, Bowden, transfer from Texas A&M, is working in the Sooner bullpen. Drew Christo has been up throwing in the Nebraska pen. But the moment involves Witherspoon here. Call strike it is to Butenbach. There's a look at Bowden on the right-hander.
I think if you look at the makeup of the remaining batters in the lineup, you got a left-handed batter in Butenbach, and then 2 right-handers coming up. Might be a factor in the decision as another ball glances off of hard-nosed catcher Mudler. Taking a beating. Oh, right off the bat, straight to the chest protector.
Yep. Butler gonna need a cold tub.
Yeah.
I don't think the ice bag is gonna do it tonight. Gonna need the full cold tub. 0-2. And pushed foul right over the top of Mike Sirianni coaching the third. Fairly athletic move by Sirianni, by the way.
Gets on top of you quickly.
Sanderson at second, Carey at first. 0-2 to Butenbach. Fouled it off to stay alive. And I mean, just got a little bit of it.
And Malachi is definitely landing that breaking ball. He's done so all evening long. Looks like Butenbach is seeing it well.
Oh, 2. Up and away, 1-2. Feels like this at bats had a lot more pitches in it to just be 1-2.
That's right.
Seven-hole hitter. Off the plate, 2-2. Dana, and I don't know that Nebraska can allow another opportunity to slide by the boards. Trailing 4-0 in here in the sixth. That ball to center. Walk will make the play for out number 2. Hit it too good.
Yep.
Line shot for out 2.
Might be the hardest hit ball by the Huskers this evening. Unfortunately for them, it finds the glove of Walk out in center field.
So now, here's Stokes, who struck out and flied to left. 98 pitches now from Malachi Witherspoon. If he's being taxed in the least, man, he's looked pretty steady, I tell you that. Look out. Stokes bails.
That's just a natural reaction. These guys always display toughness in the batter's box, and I'm sure in hindsight, Stokes would like to possibly wear that. I think they're going to come together and see if this actually clipped his pants.
Derek Everett is coming out talking to Brian Marine. He is the crew chief of this particular game. And the Nebraska folks so we are under review to see if he in fact was hit by the pitch. We'll show you a couple looks here.
Yeah, this is a breaking ball. And remember, it does not have to hit his flesh. It can just hit the jersey or the belt. I can't really tell there. Didn't hear anything, but from this angle, just not sure. Looks like he grabs it right away. Maybe it just scraped past him, but that's a hit batter.
Remember, the general philosophy in this is indisputable video evidence. And I don't think I'd see anything there to change my mind, but.
And the reaction of Stokes doesn't really help his case either. He's just grabbing himself. See from this angle, breaking ball doesn't break very much, and I don't see a lot there. But you'd like to think if you're Stokes and you know you got clipped, you'd be looking to drop that bat and head towards first base to sell it. He doesn't do any of that.
It was Derek Everett, the home plate umpire, who walked out to initiate this. So Brian Marine on the right. is our crew chief here in this particular ball game. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in that circumstance, you got to lean towards what the batter does or how he reacts. Didn't drop the bat to go to first base. I'm not sure he sold it. And let's face it, some guys don't want to sell it. They want to swing the bat. And I give credit to Stokes. If he wants to be the guy to try to make this a one-run game, so be it.
So Brian Marine.
After a call, the field stands. The batter did not get hit by the pitch. Nebraska's out of challenge.
All right, so call on the field stands. So 1-0 it stays to Stokes.
And Nebraska is out of challenges.
Right. Out of challenges in the 6th. First and second, 2 outs. Wow. Rip foul. Right on the fat end of the bat.
Just a little bit late. Timing of the bats for the Huskers with the velocity of Malachi Witherspoon, which is not, they're getting quality swings. It's got to be a little bit early.
One. 101 pitches now. 25th pitch of the inning coming up here. Stokes waits. Rolled it right back to the mound, and Malachi Witherspoon does it again. 1 hit, 2 left for the Huskers. Still 4-0 Oklahoma. And by the way, in the first, they were loaded. And that proved to be maybe the win of the night, huh?
They hit 2 batters, only walked 1. So those concerns that everybody had, or a lot of people had, maybe not Skip Johnson, showed itself not to be true.
Yeah, there's Kyle Branch to start the bottom of the 6th inning. A ball and a strike to him. 0-2 tonight is Branch. That's off the plate. Third pitcher of the night for Nebraska is Caleb Clark here in the 6th. Fouled out of play. It'll be 2-2. See where this half frame goes, because off the plate, full now. Remember, Oklahoma was warming Bowden, sophomore right-hander from Austin, Orange, Texas, and transfer from A&M down there. Nebraska also had guys going too. It'll hold at 3-2, fouled away. Drew Christo, by the way, still doing work down in the Nebraska bullpen. Could see a 4th pitcher tonight for Will Bolt. That's a sharply hit ground ball. Backhanded at second. Brumbaugh throws on the first. Don't forget that the Men's College World Series returns to Omaha June 13th, 2 o'clock. All the coverage on ESPN. But for more information on the Men's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. And I also tell you that on the NCAA.com site tonight, you can go there and they will purpose a full regional scoreboard for you.
Nice.
You can just get all of it right there in one swing.
Soak it all up.
Yep.
A lot of good baseball being played, a couple of upsets.
Cool. Folks are early for the game tomorrow night.
Baseball fans.
Yeah, taking it in.
I like that hat. College baseball is rad. How do kids know rad?
Somebody tells them. 1-2.
Fast times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, nice. Well done, Mike Damone. I was looking earlier today just to kind of scan around and see what was what. And I was looking for the first round, kind of upset that we get in this event, seemingly.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know that I've seen anything yet.
There's some close ones.
I will tell you that Columbia leads Southern Miss 9-4 tonight in Hattiesburg. It's a strikeout, by the way, there. Drew Dickerson down on strikes. He's already homered tonight. Oregon is trailing. St. Mary's leads Oregon State tonight.
Oh, wow.
That's a 4-1 game, right? Dawson Willis at the bottom of the card. He doubled in the second.
That's what makes this first matchup, this first round special, because you're getting the best pitcher from each team usually.
Yep.
And you never know what can happen.
Ground ball fired right between first and second. Willis has got another hit tonight. His second of the evening comes with 2 out in the 6th. Ole Miss and Murray State tied in the 8th in Oxford. That's a 1-4 game. As they like to say, Coach Hughes, they're out there. You just got to look for them.
Yep.
Dawson Willis has got his 11th multi-hit game of the year with 2 hits and 3 trips. If it hadn't been for a heck of a play by Stokes at third, he might have 3 hits, by the way. Remember, Stokes made the play on the first batter that Dice saw, which was Willis. Behind that bag, stepped on third.
Play.
Yep. 2 outs and 1 on here in the 6th.
Also remember the double hit by Willis in the 2nd inning.
Yep.
And he got thrown out at third base, picked off, I guess we should say.
Yeah, 1-5-4-1. Yeah, they ran him through the pickle. There's one again, first base side, off the bag. Sanderson will step on first, and that takes care of the threat. Oklahoma goes 1-2-3 in the 6th, still leads 4-0. Back at Chapel Hill, how about tonight's Capital One rewarding performance? Big brother Malachi went to work tonight.
Exceptional work. He had every pitch in his arsenal working. Fastball with late tail action, and the breaking ball just totally baffled the Huskers lineup as he's fiery coming out of the game after 102 pitches.
Yeah.
3 hits, 9 strikeouts.
Yep, feeling good now. So we get the second Nebraska pitcher or Oklahoma pitcher of the night. And let's welcome into the ball game. This is right-hander Jason Bowden. This will be his 30th appearance of the year. Got an ERA of about 5 3/4. He's worked 39 innings, 43 hits, 28 runs, 35 Ks, and 12 walks.
High leverage guy, 30 appearances on the season. 4-pitch guy, 90 to 93. He's topped out at 95. Has a sinker that's gotten up to 97. Slider and changeup to complete his arsenal. Gotta keep the bats quiet for the Huskers here.
Jalisco starts for Nebraska, looks at a strike. Hoagie's 0 for 2, 197 on the year. A ball and a strike to Jalisco. Bowden's got to feel like he's playing now free. With a 4-0 lead, he can just reach back. He has in the mid-90s here on 2 of his first 3 pitches.
One of the keys for the Huskers to get back into this ball game, get their leadoff on base. They've only done it 1 time in this game so far.
Yeah, 2 and 2. It has been a hard night offensively for Nebraska.
Yes.
Not just Witherspoon's fine performance, but some of the stuff on the back end has been really buttoned up defensively too. And there's a strikeout of Jalisco. Second time he's gone down. 10th strikeout tonight for Nebraska.
Yeah, same late life we saw from Malachi Witherspoon. There you see with the fastball. Worked itself back into the zone. A nice job by Mudler behind the plate.
This is the first time Nebraska's had a 10 strikeout game offensively since April 15th.
And when we spoke with Will Bolt in the middle of the game, he mentioned about the adjustments that need to be made. Seems like the Huskers are still being a little extra selective.
There's a ball sharply hit back up the middle. On cue, Silva's got his first hit of the night.
A nice job of hitting by the table setter, Riley Silva. Reached on an error in his last at bat, gets his first hit, as you mentioned. Good speed on the base paths. He swiped 1 base already. Trying to get things going for the Huskers.
Nebraska's 0 for 10 with runners on tonight. They've stranded 8 guys in this ball game. Swing and a miss by Nunez. Remember, Nunez got called out on a pitch clock violation in the 6th. Or I'm sorry, back in the 5th inning. Thank you. Out of play. 0-2. Bowden looks in, delivers in the dirt, 1-2. Oklahoma came into this game 35-20. They went 14-16 in their first venture into the SEC. And Nunez down on strikes. 3rd time he's struck out tonight.
There's a firm fastball that works itself away from the left-handed batter. Sinker we talked about. 11 strikeouts on the evening for the Huskers, for the Sooner staff.
Low and away, this is Brumball. Oh for 2 tonight with a walk. Throw back over to first. In goes Silva. 28th time this year Oklahoma's posted 10 or more strikeouts. Dana. Fastball up. 2-0 now to Brumball. Keep an eye on the screen to see some of these scores going by from the other regionals. Getting late in some places. Here's a roller right of the mound. Nicely done. Bowden will make a strong throw, and that will take care of Nebraska. Silva single by the boards. Huskers can do nothing with it. Still 4-0. It's Friday night in Chapel Hill, and you're watching the Division I Baseball Championship. Regional action. Brought to you by Capital One. Wes Durham, Dana Hughes. Matt Krause, our producer. Ryan Schmitz, our director. We got a terrific crew here. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
2 games in the books. We've been here all day. That's okay. Weather got in the way. We had a lot of folks deal with weather today.
Oh, yeah. It's all right.
In the eastern half of the country. So Caleb Clark is out there spinning it for the Huskers. And Jackson Willits at the top of the car. This is Easton Carmichael, I beg your pardon. Here in the 7th. And on the ground, sharply hit. Carey rolls over in time, 1 away. These 2 teams meeting tonight. They played last year in Houston, or Arlington rather, at Globe Life Field, where the Rangers play. Skip Johnson and Will Bolt go way back. And we're talking about all things Texas yesterday with us. Nebraska's got a couple guys up in the bullpen. Speaking of Texas, look at here.
Got a few of them.
They just kind of rolled in here, didn't they? Snuck in. You think, no, wait a second. You don't think the Texas people came in here tonight just to see who would lose?
Yes, yes. This is entertaining for them.
Are they pulling for Oklahoma?
They will leave happy no matter what.
Is that, are they pulling for SEC? Is this what this is, you think?
Ooh.
Huh? Oklahoma pulling for Texas, same league?
Are you allowed to do that in the state of Texas?
I don't know that.
I think it's against the law.
These 2 teams have played over 200 times, but this is their first NCAA matchup tonight.
The hate is real. Still.
3-1. I will say this. Fouled off at the plate by Dayton Taki. I was talking to Toby Rowland. Of course, he's the voice of the Sooners for football, basketball, and baseball earlier. And he says, you know, the level of respect and enjoyment between Oklahoma and Nebraska is not like most rivalries. Yeah, it's a rivalry, but everybody gets along. Oklahoma and Nebraska. And I thought, well, that makes it even a little better then. He said sometimes when it gets beyond the walls of the rivalry, other parts of the country, like tonight, that's something that's not necessarily understood.
It's an interesting fact. Not all rivalries have hatred embedded in them.
And I said to him, so that makes it different than Oklahoma, Texas? And he said, yes. Which brings us back to, who are these Texas people pulling for tonight? Gamble stands in. RBI single in the 5th. Produced the 4th run of the night. And there's a wild pitch from Clark, hit off the back wall. Taki, who walked, will travel down to second. There's Dayton Taki from Weatherford, Texas. Came to Oklahoma after transferring from Weatherford College. Damon.
Yeah.
Do you know the mascot at Weatherford High School?
I do not.
In Texas? This is kangaroos.
Weatherford Kangaroos?
In Texas.
Huh. I would have never guessed that.
That's why you bring it up.
I was thinking Warriors.
Right, sure. Maybe some Western motif of some sort. Right? Not kangaroos. Towards short. Scooped, bobbled, and no throw. It'll be an error on Dylan Carey.
Another tough bounce here, right past the runner. As you can see, the Dylan Carey in attack mode. Justifiably so, just takes it off the heel of the glove there. Runners on the corner.
And now Jason Walk's got a chance, but Rob Childress is going to make a move here. Nebraska had guys going down in the bullpen. Christo had been joined by Price Bender, and we'll see which way Rob Childress wants to go here. And a bit of a meeting ensuing. Bender is a right-hander. So is Christo, so and maybe not even a change at all. There you have it. So it'll be Clark that will see Jason Walk here with 1 out in the 7th, and Sooners threatening to add more here.
You may see Jason Walk try a safety squeeze here. Could be on deck. Right here, try to plate that run.
Whoa. And he got hit and will get the base. Derek Everett. Here's another look.
Fastball gets away from him and
Yep.
clearly hits Jason Walk.
Of note, Nebraska cannot challenge this, even if they didn't think he got hit. They are out of it. The last one was burned on a potential hit by pitch. So 1 out, bases loaded now. And here is Mudler. And the way things have gone for this guy tonight, he might hit this thing to Carborough.
The superhero of the night, not just the hero.
I mean, more of the story pours out after the game. This could be amazing. There's a throw to first. Run will score. It's 5-0 now. Dayton Taki just strides in from third. And Mudler does his job. 2 away.
This ball got on top of Brumbaugh quickly at second base. Didn't look like he had a good enough grip or confidence in the grip to try to turn 2, especially with the speed of Jason Walk at first base. So he opts to go to first.
And now Nebraska will make the change. Well, let's go out first, and Caleb Clark be joined out there by his mates, and Rob Childress will take the baseball and make the change, and we'll get our 4th Nebraska pitcher of the night. It's going to be Price Bender who's going to get the ball when we come back to Chapel Hill. 5-0 Oklahoma. Look at where we stand in Chapel Hill after a game and almost 2 games. Game and a half for sure. North Carolina 4, Holy Cross nothing. Tidy 2 hours and 37 minutes, and a lot of big Jake Knapp, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jake Knapp really came on strong. Started the game off a little slow. The adrenaline had gotten to him. He'd throw 23 pitches in that first inning, but settled into the game. And again, the workhorse over 100 pitches in the outing earlier today and got the W.
Yep, and here tonight, Oklahoma has kind of steadied things behind Malachi Witherspoon. Only 4 hits allowed by Sooner pitching, and now we get a look at 6'3" freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma. This is number 6 Bryce Bender, who's already All-America with the mustache.
Yes.
And this is the most used rookie in the Nebraska pitching staff. I mean, this guy's getting a lot of work. 24 2/3. You see 16 Ks and 10 walks on the year. He's got the most appearances, number 20 on the campaign here tonight.
He's got a huge upside as well. A lot of confidence in this young man. This is an opportunity for more experience to be garnered, soaked up, and help him in the future.
Two outs, 2 on. Bender's first pitch is fouled away by Branch. 7-hole hitter for the Sooners.
Bryce Bender attacks you with multiple arm slots. Very creative for the young arm. 87, 89 with his fastball. He can top out over a 90, but he's deceptive.
And that is fouled. 0-2. It will be to Branch. So Bender. 0-2. Off the plate, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 now. Fouled out of play. One, two. Sharply hit through the right side off the bat of Branch. 2 more runs are going to score, and it's 7-0. And I want to tell you, Walk just barely beat the Jalisco tag. Jason Walk moved this up through the gearbox too.
Yes, he did. I didn't think initially that they'd have a chance at chopping him down at home plate, but right there, if that ball is on line and not up the third base line, they may have a chance to get the speedy center fielder.
Branch is going to get 2 RBIs for the single to the right side. 7-0, and now here's Dickerson. First hit of the night for Branch.
Another crooked number up on the board for the Sooners.
Yep. 9 hits now for Oklahoma tonight.
I think if you're the Huskers, you go back to that first inning. You had Malachi Witherspoon in some trouble. Scouting report is that he can tend to kind of fly off the rails just a bit if he doesn't have early success, and with bases loaded, had a ground out back to the pitcher by Dylan Carey and just kind of shut down all the momentum.
Yep, sure did. That was a first pitch swing too, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking at the time, I remember, because he had just walked Sanderson. You almost got to make him throw you strikes.
Yeah.
And that is really the only threat Nebraska has built tonight. Fouled off, 2-2.
Looks like that's the only time we've had a runner at third base.
Missed. Up and away. It's full now with Dickerson. Bender looks in. Fly ball, and it will drop in front of Silva out in center. They will hold Branch at third. Oklahoma's got 10 or more hits for the 24th time this year. Dickerson, by the way, has got 2 of them.
Excellent job of hitting by the freshman from Lee Summit. 2-strike hitting, drive it to opposite field.
And Dickerson's going to come out of the game. And a pinch runner has come in for the Sooners. And this is Harris. Desan Harris. Sophomore from Plano, Texas. Comes in to run for Dickerson. And he took off. Created a little bit of a wheel here.
Yeah, ultimately you see on a 1st and 3rd, they're just trying to run a play to get that runner at third base hanging in no man's land. Good, but good, smart base running by Kyle Branch.
0-2 to Dawson Willis. He's been on base with a double in the second. One ball, 2 strikes. Bender, foul back. It'll stay 1-2. Score holds.
Yep.
It's going to be a fast turnaround for Nebraska. Real fast.
Yeah. This game could end after midnight. They'll turn around and be back here to play at 12 noon if you're not able to.
Boy, Ed Cahoven will have Jaden Wywota, the Patriot League Pitcher of the Year. 9-game winner to go.
Yeah.
And Will Bolt will have to do some of his best psychology. One, 2. In the dirt. 2-2 now.
You can see how Bender can be effective with the multiple arm slots. He lands that front foot, and you don't know where the ball will be released from until it comes out.
Popped up left side. In from third, Stokes. Whoa, he got it. But he waited till it came all the way down the chimney. But 3 more runs in the 7th. And the Huskers have a 7-0 lead, or Sooners have a 7-0 lead. Well, it's a 7-0 Oklahoma lead, and one look at kind of the offensive chart, Dana. This is what Will Bolt's having to fight through tonight. Just 4 hits, 11 strikeouts, 9 left. Nothing to show for runners in scoring position.
Uncharacteristic for the Huskers, especially of what we've seen from them over the last month of the season. Give credit to the Sooners, their pitching.
Absolutely. So after Willis flied out, here is Brumbaugh, or Swanson rather, to start the 8th for Nebraska. Sanderson and then Carey to follow. Fastball up, 1-1. Jackson Brockett got the start tonight. Be interesting to see which way they might go tomorrow.
Likely it'll be Ty Horn.
Who was a winner of Sunday, right?
Yeah. An outstanding job in the Big Ten Tournament Championship.
Yep. He's 3-4 on the year, 16 starts. Brockett had 14 starts. The other thing this game does tonight, it preserves Luke Broderick.
Yes.
And
possibly Drew Christo as well.
Yeah. Not quite sure what's happened here. Confab taking place. Again, Jeff Wright, the first base umpire. He's got his back to you. Brian Marine is facing you with the NCAA hat. You can clearly read he's the crew chief.
Maybe a little chat about quick pitching here, maybe.
There's Marine. I'm not quite sure what this is. So something is amiss and they're going to review it. And meanwhile, Jason Bowden's going to get some warm-up tosses. So this is Brian Marine, the crew chief, initiating a review on a potential hit by pitch.
And that did look from that angle that it glanced off the protective gear of Gabe Swanson there. I think the first angle was the best angle to see the rerouting of that pitch. Watch right here. Up and in. You saw the movement right there of the ball going back towards the catcher. It even looked like the reaction from Swanson afterwards was like he expected to get the free pass.
So Jason Bowden politely waits behind the mound. And these guys are going through their process. See how this
Think they're going to stay here all night?
finally gets resolved. No, I think they got to clear the building. When the game's over, yeah, you got to go. You got to come back and. We got another game before their team plays. Remember?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Holy Cross is waiting to see who falls here. The elimination game tomorrow at noon.
Well, by the time this game is over, it will be game day.
That's right. Yeah. So there again, you got to read the back of the ticket. You got to. And feel like that we're not going to get a lot here. We'll see what happens. Okay. So nobody hit by a pitch, so we'll just go right back to where we were. So Bowden will line it up. It's 3-1 to Swanson. 7-0 Oklahoma. We're in the 7th. Or actually the 8th, I apologize. And that ball just danced right through. How about that?
Yes.
First hit of the night for Swanson.
Gabe Swanson says, I don't want a free pass. I'll earn it in the batter's box. Good swing by Swanson here. Poked right past Willis at third base and Willits at shortstop.
Yep.
5th hit of the evening for the Huskers.
And nobody on, or nobody out, and 1 on. Nebraska tonight is 0 for 12 with runners in aboard. There's a strike to Sanderson.
And that's only the 2nd time this evening that they've had the leadoff batter on base.
Oh, 1 off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Then these folks, they have plenty of room around them. I mean, seriously?
Yeah, they just wanted their space.
Good section still available. Fouled off at the plate. That's so good. It's the other thing I like about this event, it's very underrated. Late night stuff happens, games run late, delays, or in our case, weather today.
That's
after
true.
Carolina Holy Cross game. Can't tell you what a good job the ground crew did here, by the way, during that whole situation. Oh my goodness. Tarp came on, Tarp came off, Tarp went back on, and they did a super job. Big league stuff here in Chapel Hill. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sanderson. Fouled away. I'll be down there by that hospitality tent where a lot of folks were wandering around between games, trying to go down there and harken up a free meal. 2-2. Chopped on. Is it backing up at second? It did. Off the glove of Branch. And around the third, Gallup Swanson. Nobody out. And here's Dylan Carey.
A lot of top spin on this ball. Hard hit ball, 2-hopper. Branch has to retreat to try to get it on its easiest hop, and it just glances right off the top of his glove. Really no chance. You see the facial expression.
Bode's like,
Classic.
really? Really?
There would have been no chance for a double play there, but
Yeah.
that's still a tough play.
Well, here's Dylan Carey, who's 0 for 2, been hit by a pitch. And it's 1-0. Dayton Taki came off the bag at first to say something to Bode. Whoa, look out, that hit him. Carey's been hit for a 2nd time.
I think Taki actually tried to calm him down just a bit. Maybe saw the frustration on his face there.
And so
This is
they'll
a good
walk it
mound
out.
visit.
Here comes Skip Johnson, though.
Anytime you see a pitcher this demonstrative afterwards, you see the frustration getting to him. It's a good opportunity for the players to visit the mound.
By the way, I just noticed something here in the 8th. Easton Carmichael has gone in to catch. It's not in the, it's not been posted in the official stats, but Easton Carmichael's catching the 8th inning.
Oh.
So here's Max Butenbach. 0 for 6 with the bases loaded this year. He's 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Although the last ball he hit was a pretty good strike at Jason Walk out in center field. And Jason Bowden kind of all over the place here right now. 1-0. Rolled over, foul, first base side.
You have to be careful with your emotions in these circumstances. Don't allow it to get the best of you.
Around the corner they come on the ball by Butenbach. He's headed for third, and he is safe. A 3-run triple by Max Butenbach. And here come the Huskers again.
What an excellent job of hitting here. Just gets too much of the plate. 2-strike hitting. He's able to drive it right past the third baseman. A little bit of a shift employed by the Sooners there. Goes deep into the corner in left field, and the hustle out of the batter's box by Butenbach. There's some fire left in the Huskers here, down by 4.
And a change going to be made. Oklahoma is going to the bullpen again. And the Sooners are bringing Reed Hensley, a right-handed senior from Lufkin, Texas, into the game. Nebraska is on the board with nobody out here in the 8th on a 3-run triple by Max Butenbach. Timeout in Chapel Hill. Another pitching change. 3rd of the night for Oklahoma when we continue. 7-3 Oklahoma. We welcome you back to Chapel Hill. Another Sooner pitching change. Meanwhile, don't forget, you want to miss any of the action. Easiest thing to do, scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you right to Squeeze Play. You can see every game and every big moment on the road to the Men's College World Series. No telling how late they're going to run tonight. They're going to be on after us, by the way.
Yes, they are.
They got more to go.
A lot of coffee being consumed, I'm sure.
I don't know Berkey and Rooney. Are those guys, they big coffee guys?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, 3rd Oklahoma pitcher of the night is Reed Hensley. And we got more activity in the bullpen, too, for the Sooners. But here's a look at Hensley, the senior from Lufkin, Texas.
You see his numbers, 34 strikeouts to 14 walks and 30 in the 3rd inning.
And that ball is fouled off. Nebraska has also
Robbie Bolin.
got Robbie Bolin in the game. I was getting ready to say we're seeing Robbie Bolin come in, huh?
Yep. Made an amazing catch in the Big Ten tournament. Right center field, pulled his hamstring.
Swing and a miss for Bolin. Here's the play in Omaha. An incredible catch, and you see right away he's in a lot of discomfort.
Yeah.
And he strikes out on 3 pitches. Out number 1.
It's interesting that they opt to go with Robbie in this circumstance because he's pinch hitting for Red Stokes, who was the backup 3rd baseman for the injured Joshua Overbeek. So now you're going to have your third baseman in the game. I don't believe Robbie will be playing defense.
So Nebraska now goes and gets yet another player. This is Will Jeske. So he'll stand in and bat. And look at a strike. He is a .288 hitter on the year. He was 1 for 4 at the Big Ten tournament against Michigan State on opening night.
Yeah.
He's 5 of his last 9 with a double and 1 strikeout. One out, 1 on. A 3-run triple by Butenbach. Fouled that off. It's 1-2. Nebraska had been able to only generate any minimal type threats until out of nowhere the 7-hole hitter gets the first hit of the bottom third of the order tonight.
Yes.
With the bases loaded. That's fouled back. Count will hold. Jeske had a 4-hit game in the series finale at Purdue in the regular season, tail end of the year. That's pulled foul.
Jeske getting some really good swings here. We'll keep the Huskers in this ball game.
Yeah. 1-2, just missed. Another local kid. He's from Lincoln. Will Jeske. Two balls, 2 strikes. Inside now, it's full. The runner at third, Butenbach. That ball to center. Walk going all the way back. That'll be deep enough for tag and score to make it 7-4. There's 2 away. So Jeske, the pinch hit here in the 8th, gets a run home.
It's a great at-bat for Will Jeske there. Battled, fought off a few pitches, and got the RBI. Fly ball to center field.
And the Sooners aren't out of the woods yet, because now you go back to the top of the card. This is Silva, Nunez, and potentially Brumbaugh. There's a strike at the letters. 0-1 to Riley Silva, who's 1 for 4. It looked like Silva was trying to get something going in the 7th with a single on a 1 out. And then he got a strikeout from Nunez and a bounce ball back to the pitcher from Brumbaugh, and that was squelched. Silva waits. Tried to hold up, did he? Did not. 1-2. One and two. Struck him out. But Nebraska gets 4 runs to draw to within 3. Bottom of the 8th next from Chapel Hill. Well, Sooner offense, last 15 games only averaging 4 runs a game, hitting .222 tonight, .345 and 7 runs. Man, Easton Carmichael's got a home run. Drew Dickerson out of nowhere, a 2-run homer. And now all of a sudden we got changes across the board. Nebraska's got a left-hander. Grant Clevenger has come in the ball game now to pitch. He's a junior from Lawrence, Kansas, and a transfer from Tulane. So a good look at Clevenger. You see 6'5", 225. And now Ryan Jeske, or Will Jeske rather, has come in to catch. And Jaron Cotton is playing at Jaron Cotton, I think it is playing down at Jaron Cotton playing at third base. Yep. Sorry. So we had Bolin in to hit. We got Jeske playing behind the plate, and there's Jaron Cotton. And here's Clevenger. Pops it right in there. And he is the 4th pitcher of the night for Nebraska. Fifth pitcher of the night, excuse me, for Nebraska. Now they've had Brockett, Dice, Clark, Bender, and now Clevenger. And this is kind of what we were talking about this afternoon. This is Will Bolt managing the event now.
Yes. Well, we mentioned it earlier. I mean, this team, it's kind of built in them to play the full 27 outs, not give up at any time, and we showed the highlight in the open about how they got here.
There's a strikeout. And Willits goes down for the 3rd time tonight on strikes, by the way.
Elevated fastball here. It's blown right by Willits.
It's a good ball player.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, do it to him.
Dang, I think it's going to be interesting. We talk about Nebraska, right, and the quick turnaround tomorrow. If the score holds. Oklahoma will sit all day.
Yeah.
With Kyson Witherspoon ready to go tomorrow night against Jason DeCaro of Carolina, in what will be a really good environment.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, my mind has changed just a bit, or I should say shifted just a bit, because of those 4 runs scored by the Huskers.
Right.
They're able, even if they lose this game, but they're able to plate 1 or 2 more runs. You got the positive kind of reinforcement of, hey, we can play here, we can win here, we can started slow, and then to have the quick turnaround. It might bode well for the Huskers.
And the psychology we were talking about for Will Bolt may have just happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you have to make it, it's always fascinating in this part of the event in particular. The Super Regionals is 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
It's a different dynamic. But in this particular part of this, if you lose game 1, you have to make a decision sometime before the next game, collaboratively, that you're going to play to win.
Yeah.
You say you want to do it, but you still have to make the effort. Fly ball off the bat of Carmichael into right field. And that'll be fielded. Butenbach will haul that in. Crowd number 1. Actually 2 on the bat. The Willits was out number 1. But that's the part I think about where Holy Cross and Nebraska will be tomorrow. Wawoda's talented. The starter for Ed Kahovic's team.
And in talking with Coach Kahovic, he made it abundantly clear they weren't just coming here to win one game. They weren't just happy to be here.
Yeah.
So they're going to come out guns blazing tomorrow.
They only had 4 hits today. They're going to feel like they left things on the table offensively they could have done today against just a terrific performance by Jake Knapp.
Yes.
It is of note that Knapp and Malachi Witherspoon, the 2 teams that at this point look like they're advancing, offered outstanding starting pitching.
Oh, yeah. Power pitchers that really showed up today.
Here's Dayton Taki. 0 for 2. Lefty on lefty setup. Taki seeked higher ground there.
Reset, go get in. Back on your plan here.
Skied. Out from behind the plate. Jeske can't get to it. His first chance defensively on a pop fly. Now Taki may get a swing on the house here.
This is a situation new right off the bench. High sky. Just tough to make that play. Thought maybe in hindsight, first baseman Sanderson might have taken control of that, but that would have been a tough play for him playing deep first base.
2-2. Fastball up. This guy's got a little pop now.
Yeah. Left side looks good out there. Clevenger.
In the dirt. So a walk is issued to Taki. Second time he's been passed. Third time he's been passed tonight. Here's Gamble. Reached and scored on an error in the 7th. Came around on the RBI double from Branch. That's a fastball in for a strike. You're looking ahead, Nebraska is scheduled to have Nunez, Brumbaugh, and Swanson.
Good take, come on.
Just missed 1-1. They would need 3 to tie if things hold right here.
A lot of confidence in you here. Go get
That
him.
would be on the back end of getting 4 in their half of the 8th.
Good, really good.
2-1.
Good firm fastball from Clevenger, just missing off the outside part of the plate here.
Keep going, still with you here. Come on, Trey.
Gamble waits.
Good, good boy.
3-1.
A little bit low there. Good eye by Gamble.
Stay with it. Stay with it, Trey. Go get him.
Taki at first.
Good, attaboy.
And a walk. So back-to-back walks now. Taki and now Gamble. And here is Jason Walk, who was hit by a pitch and scored an inning ago. Still 2 outs here in the 8th. And looks like Rob Childress might be out to make another visit. And perhaps a change.
And they look to have a righty-righty matchup against Walk, who's gotten some really quality swings.
So not sure anybody's doing anything of any major work there.
These guys, Luke Broderick.
Oh boy.
Second team all Big Ten.
A pat on the shoulder from Childress, and we're playing on, as they say. And here is Walk. The other reliever down there was Gavin Blackowitz of Nebraska with Broderick. Fouled out of play. Taki. Big fellow on the gallop from second.
Getting some cardio in. It's all right.
Fly ball. I was in. I'm ready. One. Little fastball there by Wall. Walker's now in the hole 1-2. First and second for the Sooners. Tried to bend it in, 2-2. Fouled it back, 2-2. So we were right in suspecting that Broderick and Blackowitz weren't warming up. Drew Christo, however, is.
Christo has been a stabilizing force for the Huskers all season long.
2-2. 3-2 now to Jason Walk. Clevenger has walked the last two. Foul back right this way. The net wasn't here. Coach Uza had to make a play.
Got to make a play. Got opportunities, man. Set ourselves apart from the other broadcasts.
I promise you. The way you set yourself apart is to make the play.
Yep.
3-2. On the ground, knocked down at third, and everybody's going to be safe. Cotton got in front of it. Bases will be loaded with 2 outs. Walk on board for a third time tonight.
This is great effort at third base and good heads-up play. Base running as well for Taki. Watch that coach at third base put the brakes on, put the stop sign up.
And here's the pinch hitter. This is Mason Hamlin coming into the game. He is a 6'2", 211-pound junior from Falcon, Colorado. And all of a sudden, here's Rob Childress out, and now a change coming.
A borderline strike call to walk. Change the dynamic here. Forces the Huskers, after that last hit by Jason Walk, have to go to the bullpen one more time.
So a transfer from UT Permian Basin will face a new Nebraska pitcher. Drew Christo enters the ball game when we come back. 7-4 Oklahoma, bottom of the 8th inning. Now's not really the time for synchronized musical acts, folks.
Little wave.
Trying to get outs here, aren't we? Working in the bottom of the 8th. And here is Christo.
Drew Christo has been the high leverage arm out of the bullpen all season long for the Huskers. You see his numbers: 48 strikeouts to 29 walks, 47 hits. Fastball, cutter, curveball, 90 to 94.
So Christo, and they had announced Hamlin, and then all of a sudden pulled Hamlin back. And Oklahoma has now brought Braden Horton, a Liberty transfer, to the plate. So here is Horton batting for Mudler. Remember, Mudler bounced to second. Swing and a miss on a fastball there. Christo rolls it in there in the 90s.
He works quickly, too.
Yep. He's not waiting around, is he?
Nope.
Oh, 2 with the bases loaded. One and 2. And quite frankly, Horton's obliging him by stepping right back in. Off the plate, even count.
Christo, he wants the game to be played at his tempo, at his pace. He's back on the bump. With about 14, 15 seconds left on the pitch clock.
Call strike 3. Man, Drew Christo's coming with some things now.
Yep.
Nebraska needs 3 to tie when we come back. Well, Nebraska had been a little asleep offensively.
Yes,
I think I'm being honest, right?
Yes.
In the 8th, they woke up.
They did, to the tune of 4 runs, and got themselves back in this ball game. Now with the 2-3-4 hole due up here in the top of the 9th, got an opportunity.
Yep.
Got a chance.
It's going to have to happen, though, against Oklahoma's Dylan Crooks, who becomes the 4th pitcher of the night for the Sooners. A 6-foot, 187-pound senior from Euless, Texas. Good look at Crooks.
He's the closer for the Sooners. 3-pitch guy, 92 to 95 with his fastball, slider, and changeup. 31 strikeouts to 9 walks on the season. 1.86 ERA.
So Dylan Crooks comes to work. He was named to the mid-season watch list for the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association Stopper of the Year. He's got 14 saves on the season. One home run and just 7 extra base hits. There's a strike to Nunez. Crooks has got a little old school in him.
Yes, he does.
Got the deep leg kick, and he turns and almost shows you his full back.
I love that.
Before he cuts it loose.
Love that style of pitching. Loading on that back leg. Hides the ball.
That is roped to second, backhanded nicely over there by Branch. One away. Nunez is 1 for 5 at night's end with 3 strikeouts.
The first hit of the ball game for the Huskers, their only hit until the 4th inning. And as you mentioned, things opened up in the 7th and 8th.
So here's Crooks now. He gets Caden Brumbaugh. Winner gets Carolina tomorrow night, 6 o'clock here in the winter game. The loser of this plays Holy Cross at noon tomorrow.
Today.
Wow, okay, noon today. That ball to right. Fly ball, Harris chasing. And he'll have it. Out number 2. So 2 away. Swanson the last chance for Nebraska. Fastball strike.
Yeah, when you look at Dylan Crooks, you can tell why he's so effective. As you mentioned, turning that entire back to the batter, seeing the 4 and the 3 before the delivery. And before you know it, the ball's right on top of you.
Yep.
I often throw out the term deceptive pitchers, and there's different ways to be deceptive. It's just one example.
Oh, 2 to Swanson with 2 down. Got him. And Oklahoma wins. 7-4. The Sooners pick up their 36th win of the year, and they'll meet North Carolina in a winner's game tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, Nebraska falls to 32-28, and they'll see Holy Cross at noon here, and that's an elimination game tomorrow, Dana.
Yeah, exciting baseball, especially the end of the ball game. Nebraska will have the quick turnaround. That's going to be the story for today's game against Holy Cross, and give credit to the Sooners. They jumped out strong. Great pitching performance by Malachi Witherspoon, and hopefully they're looking to keep that momentum against what's going to be a hostile crowd tomorrow night. Going to be a fun atmosphere.
Yeah, younger brother, the other twin, if you will, Kyson Witherspoon, will go for Oklahoma. Jason DeCaro scheduled for North Carolina. Here's a look at the bracket. So tomorrow our coverage will be here at noon. Nebraska and Holy Cross. That's an elimination game. And then at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, top seed North Carolina, the number 5 seed, meets Oklahoma. Sooners win. Dickerson a home run early in the ball game. 2-run variety. Cartwright added another. Carmichael added another one. And they held off Nebraska. 7-4 Oklahoma winner. For Dana Hughes, Matt Krause, Ryan Schmidt, Wes Durham. Good night.